Shortly thereafter, Cry and Citri went to a meeting with GRC and several government officials regarding the items recovered from the Akashic Towers facility. Cry expressed his desire to reclaim the Akashic Golem and another item, the name of which eluded him, but rhymed with water. The officials were taken aback. While the Golem's request was understandable, they questioned his need for the Malice Eaters. Cry, whose hearing was remarkably keen, much like Helen Keller's, misheard eaters as water. He insisted he needed it for drinking, prompting concern for his well-being among those present. Ultimately, they conceded the Malice Eaters, but not the Golem. Citri expressed gratitude to Cry for his negotiation on her behalf. She departed to collect her formidable aerial lions, while GRC approached Cry with unsettling information. He spoke of a recently arrived group of treasure hunters known as Crashing Lightning, led by the renowned Level 7 hunter, Arnold Hale. Cry, unfamiliar with the name, inquired if he was an actor from the Terminator films. GRC chuckled, explaining that Arnold was rumored to have slain a dragon. He cautioned Cry against provoking him with a friendly pat on the back, a gesture that inadvertently shattered one of Cry's protective rings. With that, the older man departed. Cry then noticed a promotional poster for the upcoming Grand Relic auction. Eager to participate due to its exceptional and rare items, he lamented his current lack of funds. He contemplated borrowing from Citri, despite outstanding debts, when a receptionist, Chloe, Gark's niece, interrupted. She commented on her uncle's cheerful demeanor. Cry explained they were discussing a newcomer, Almond Oil. Citri returned at that moment, and they left, passing the newcomer, Arnold, and his entourage. Upon returning to their clan headquarters, Citri presented a small, charming Malice Eater pup, trained to be harmless to both her and Cry. The pup leaped onto Cry playfully, but its gentle touch was enough to activate his protective rings. Citri quickly intervened, saving the remaining rings, and decided to name the pup Gatorade, reflecting Cry's initial misunderstanding. Unfazed by the mix-up, Cry focused on recharging his relics, only to learn that Lucia, the group's mage, was delayed due to a powerful boss monster in a dungeon. Citri offered him a special relic, capable of storing a spell for emergencies. He already possessed one, but Citri insisted he keep it, suggesting he wear it on his left ring finger. She then treated him to a massage, which he appeared to enjoy more than he did. Upon learning of his depleted relics, she took charge. Gathering the treasure hunters, she announced a specialized training session in magic cultivation, a technique purportedly developed by Cry. She warned of its difficulty, but promised it would elevate participants to Lucia's level of magical prowess. Astonished, the hunters readily believed Citri's attribution to Cry. Two elves, Lapis and Chris, stepped forward, challenging the new method. Chris, condescendingly, instructed Cry to address her sister properly, boasting of her superior abilities. Lapis urged her sister to compose herself, though her own regard for Cry was equally low. He understood their elven prejudice, stemming from their longevity and innate magical talent. Lapis questioned the efficacy of the training, citing Lucia, a mage respected even by elves. Citri affirmed its power, claiming Lucia's strength resulted from similar exercises. Marietta, a mage from Sven's team, volunteered nervously. The training, however, proved unexpectedly mundane, charging Cry's relics. This seemingly simple task was surprisingly demanding. The rings seemed to absorb mana endlessly. Citri urged her to persist. After considerable effort, Marietta finally filled the ring. Citri revealed more rings, each requiring the same strenuous charging. Eventually, Marietta collapsed from exhaustion. Citri explained that most individuals' mana capacity plateaued in adolescence. However, complete depletion offered a slight chance to increase this limit. The hunters complained about the impracticality, citing lengthy recharge times, even for elves. Citri presented a solution, a special potion. A few drops revived Marietta momentarily before the potion's foul taste knocked her unconscious again. Citri announced Marietta's increased mana capacity and full recharge, claiming this was Lucia's secret to power. She emphasized Lucia's hard work and frequent use of the potion to achieve her current strength. Everyone, even Cry, who was unaware of Lucia's ordeal, was shocked. Citri then taunted the elves, questioning their magical pride if they couldn't replicate Lucia's dedication. Accepting the challenge, the elves began charging Cry's relics, brought forth by Citri's chimera in a large bag. Other clan mages joined, eager for improvement. Later, at Liz's residence, the unabashed woman emerged from the bath, having forgotten a towel. Citri shielded Cry's eyes from his sister's nudity. After a brief scuffle, Cry announced his plan for a celebratory party for Citri and Liz's safe return. Liz lunged for a hug, but Citri restrained her. Cry included Tino in the invitation. At a restaurant, Liz and Citri bickered constantly. Citri initiated a drinking game, secretly adding alcohol to Liz's drink. Cry, however, swapped the drinks, leaving Citri to consume the spiked beverage. Rapidly intoxicated, she berated Cry for treating her like a walking wallet, demanding he acknowledge his substantial debt, suggesting repayment with his body. Before she could act, Liz tackled her to the floor. A commotion erupted as one of the treasure hunters collided with the short-tempered and seemingly insecure Arnold. His companions demanded respect, citing his dragon-slaying prowess and level 7 status. Intrigued, Liz and Citri observed as Arnold arrogantly demanded drinks and women. Liz approached, claiming to fulfill both requests. Dismissing her as a child, Arnold was stunned when she doused him with his drink. Horrified onlookers watched as Liz smashed the jug on his head and stomped on the shards, declaring him weak and unworthy of his rank. Too enraged to react, Arnold could only watch as Cry intervened, pulling Liz away and apologizing for her drunken behavior. The following day, Eva briefed Cry on Arnold, emphasizing their group's unprovoked aggression. She urged an apology, highlighting Arnold's legitimate victory over a lightning dragon and advising against making an enemy of him. Cry hoped Liz's attack had settled the matter but requested a meeting mediated by GRC. Mentioning the dragon, Cry mused about its potential deliciousness when grilled. Eva, appalled, explained a dragon's value as rare ingredients, unsuitable for consumption. Cry recounted a delightful dragon steak prepared by Citri. Continuing his culinary fantasies about lightning dragons, he ultimately dismissed his remarks as meat cravings. Meanwhile, Arnold's disgruntled subordinates, though recognizing Liz's strength, sought retribution. At the guild, the receptionist inquired about filing a complaint, having heard of their bar brawl defeat. The man with the faux Jasuk hairstyle clarified their intention to identify their boss's attacker. GRC appeared, identifying her as Liz, nicknamed Stifled Shadow, for her speed and stealth. When Arnold questioned his identity, GRC introduced himself, claiming prior knowledge of their arrival and a warning issued to Liz's guardian, which had apparently been overlooked. This further enraged Arnold's companions. GRC mentioned Cry's presence at the bar, revealing his true identity as the level 8 treasure hunter known as Thousand Tricks. Despite his laid-back demeanor, fear gripped Arnold's men as GRC assured them of Cry's intolerance for bullying, promising to control Liz if they behaved. He then produced a message supposedly from Cry, "Lightning Dragon must be quite tasty. Bring me some." GRC departed, leaving a furious Arnold, who interpreted the message as an insult and challenge. He ordered his men to prepare for a confrontation. In his office, Cry informed a stunned Eva of his 10-digit debt to Citri. After she calmed down, he relayed Citri's proposed solutions: imprisonment, which would nullify the debt, or marriage, reclassifying it as a family expense. Joking about marriage as his only escape, he assured Eva he would repay everything. She pointed out that avoiding further debt would allow repayment through his party's income, a challenge with the approaching auction. Simultaneously, Arnold's men struggled to find information on Cry, encountering only tales of his precognitive abilities and disdain for mundane missions. Returning to their base, they relayed this to Arnold, who dismissed it as fabricated myths. Yet, Cry's level 8 status lent credence to the rumors. He theorized Cry was a strategist, achieving his rank through command rather than personal strength. Confident in his own level 7 combat skills, he underestimated Cry. Meanwhile, Cry basked in the sun, attempting to ignore his debt when Tino leaped onto his balcony. Mistaking his expression for a welcoming smile, she eagerly offered her assistance. Jokingly, Cry requested money. Disappointed, she offered her savings. Cry declined, citing his massive debt to Citri. Tino reacted with shock, then coughed up blood upon hearing Cry's jest about marriage as a solution, imagining Citri's attempts to monopolize him. Cry reassured her and suggested a walk to lift their spirits. Tino proposed raiding a high-level vault for valuable relics, a suggestion Cry rejected, unwilling to risk his life. At the same time, Arnold and his group located Cry's clan building, surprised to find him alone. Recognizing them from the bar, they prepared to attack. Tino challenged them, but they dismissed her, focusing on Cry. Cry apologized for Liz's actions, offering to kneel. Tino protested, but Cry silenced her, noting the inappropriateness of fighting there. Tino broke free, claiming Cry's reluctance stemmed from a fear of accidentally killing weaker opponents. Cry pleaded with her to stop, but she persisted, insulting Arnold's crew, infuriating their leader. Rejecting Cry's offer of peaceful resolution, Arnold initiated the conflict. Cry, accepting the inevitable, moved to the main street, attracting attention, hoping to find clan members, but to no avail. One of Arnold's men urged him to begin. Cry, stalling, addressed him as Hunter A. Stunned by the correct name, the man questioned how Cry knew it. Arnold warned against falling for a trick. He confronted Cry, accusing him of relying on luck and allies to reach level 8, implying inherent weakness. Offended, Tino vowed to defend her master's honor. Arnold recognized her spirit, but saw her untapped potential. Tino sought Cry's permission to fight, which he readily granted. Even Arnold was surprised by this seemingly foolish decision. He expressed respect for Tino's willingness to fight. As Tino attacked, Arnold effortlessly blocked. Cry scanned for approaching clan members. Tino urged him to watch her, and he began cheering her on, claiming victory was within her grasp with enough effort. Enraged, Arnold slammed Tino to the ground, questioning Cry's arrogance. Cry downplayed his importance, but refused to allow harm to his people. He retrieved the unique relic from Lucia, intending to subdue Arnold. He recalled requesting a wide-range, non-lethal, and bystander-safe spell from Lucia. Despite initial claims of impossibility, she had delivered. He unleashed the gravity magic, pinning Arnold and his men. Arnold inquired about his magical abilities, a question Cry dismissed as irrelevant. Releasing Tino from the spell's effects, he informed Arnold of the proper procedure for challenging a clan master. Defeat his 3 strongest parties, led by powerhouses like Ark and Sven. Arnold cursed, then succumbed to the spell. Later, treating Tino to desserts, Cry dismissed her apologies for failing to meet his expectations. She offered to raid a relic vault to alleviate his debt, but he remained silent, unsure how to respond.